fully anticipating that we are going to have a problem because I've been receiving phone calls that people don't feel safe coming here. And it's not the immigrants. It's this government that is making them feel unsafe. But let me also do this, because they love to cherry pick. They can find, any one person that has been killed. And if they've been killed by an immigrant, then God darn it, every single immigrant is going out and they are killers. And that is the problem. But they don't want to talk about white supremacy. I don't know how many hearings we going to have about the fact that there's been...
You just can't make this up. This wasn't even the main part of today's video, but I had to show y'all this. I just had to show y'all this. We just had to start it off with this right here. Walk this heifer out. Got these big old reading glasses on, think it's gonna make her failing district any better. I mean, they want this lady removed, expelled, walked out in handcuffs. She really just say, ma'am, we're talking about, and she says, white supremacy?
This one immigrant that killed this one person. And no, I'm not excusing any killings by them or white supremacists, but they haven't had these hearings. We didn't have a hearing on Buffalo, and what happens can help make federal employees and agencies more efficient, effective, and supported. They're firing probationary federal employees, which again, in my opinion, has led to planes actually falling out of the sky.
Chair recognizes Ms. Green.
For the past 4 years, Democrats have been in control of basically all government functions for the American people. We are at $36 trillion in debt, and the lies are getting to be outrageous. Just listen to one of my colleagues talk about Medicaid. The truth is, for people watching at home, your Medicaid benefits cannot get cut unless the governor of your state and the state cuts your benefits. That's the real truth. Republicans here in Washington, here in Congress, we are not taking away anyone's Medicaid benefits. As a matter of fact, we're trying to cut out improper payments. We're trying to cut out fraud. At my Doge sub...
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our We will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Oh boy, what a disgrace. You just can't make this up. As we get into a video on this lady, she is right now breaking the internet in a different oversight committee hearing today. I tell you, you just can't make this up. It just gets worse and worse and worse for Democrats, hypocrites. It just gets worse. They're not recovering from where they're at right now. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. And this lady here, her district is failing. They want this lady removed, expelled from Congress. They want this lady to be walked out. And I tell you, we ought to just walk in there. You ought to shoot the gun, give everybody the notice, put them against the wall, put them on the floor, frisk them down, shake them down, interrogations, audits, investigations. And we find out who's clean and dirty, But these people are filthy, man. Congress is a criminal organization. It's a disgrace. And this is the Democrats' star. Democrat stars in Congress. The AOCs, the Jasmine, Crockets. They sell Ilhan Omar out there live on TV. She says, we must fear white people in this country. In this country, we must fear white people. And then look in today's oversight committee hearing today on the topic sanctuary cities, and the lives lost from refusing to enforce our nation's laws. Nobody, absolutely nobody, but Jasmine Crocket says white supremacy once again. Yeah, breaks the internet just a couple minutes ago. You just can't make this up. You just can't. I'll play the clip. Let's play the clip.
So do this, because they love to cherry pick. They can find, any one person that has been killed. And if they've been killed by an immigrant, then God darn it, Every single immigrant is going out and they are killers. And that is the problem. But they don't want to talk about white supremacy. I don't know how many hearings we going to have about the fact that there's been this one immigrant that killed this one person. And no, I'm not excusing any killings by them or white supremacists. But they haven't had these hearings. We didn't have a hearing on Buffalo and what happened there. We didn't have a hearing on El Paso and what happened there. We didn't have a hearing on Charleston and what happened there. So it's interesting that they pick and choose because it seems like they love to pal around with the white supremacists. And so they don't want to talk about certain other things. But
got these big old reading glasses on like it's, you know, this one was a disgrace, man. You know, complete disgrace. Why? When and why do we elevate politicians to celebrity status? Here's Jasmine Crocket at the BET Awards. We know she's not gonna miss the BET Award. You know, as much as they pull the, you know, she pulls the race card. You got to be there for the BET Awards.
Yeah, let's go.
What a disgrace, man. But before we continue to the main part of the video, I hope everybody that is tuning in right now that you are blessed, well, and healthy, that you're having an amazing week, an amazing month of June, that 2025 is going well for you and your family. You know, and hey, if you're new here, join the family. We are rooting for President Trump, this administration, the America First agenda, common sense, you know, for all the corruption to be exposed, for people to be walked out in handcuffs. That accountability, you know, but the people spoke loud and clear. Every single swing state, popular vote, mandate. People spoke loud and clear in a landslide. And it's a disgrace. They had these same scam, these same talking points. You know, I wish they actually cared this much. You know, this propaganda, this rhetoric with these Democrats, I wish they actually cared this much about actual Americans. I wish they cared this much about actual Americans. You know, but prayers for Trump. His work is, I'll tell you, that fella there, you know, fighting every single day. It's been a crazy 2 weeks. This whole Elon Musk, the riots that are going on, the protests of ICE raids, people waving a flag in a protest. What? Somebody please explain to me. Then take your butt back then. Burning the American flag and waving your flag in a protest. Somebody please make me understand. I'm just... Well, let's get into the main part of this video with Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know, once again, cleaning house and making this lady shut up and gets completely humiliated. Again, I don't even know why this lady even opens up her mouth. I really don't. You know, it just gets worse and worse and worse for Democrats, man. And this is why everybody's, you know, people are just walking away. Yeah, this is why. Their approval rating is at an all-time low. And I don't think they can ever recover. I just don't.
Again, as it's been stated, they don't care about government efficiency no more than they care about government services and programs that constituents rely on. And just like Elon is hiding from this committee, Republicans are now hiding from their constituents. Under the current Republican budget proposal, 166,000 people in the chairman's district could lose their Medicaid benefits, including more than 70,000 children. The same for the chairwoman of the DOJ subcommittee. Under the current budget proposal, 120,000 people in her district could lose Medicaid benefits, including 75,000 children. This is what efficiency looks like to Republicans, selling out their own constituents to pass tax cuts for their billionaire donors and friends. And rather than taking GAO's recommendations and discussing how Congress can help make federal employees and agencies more efficient, effective, and supported, they're firing probationary federal employees, which again, in my opinion, has led to planes actually falling out of the sky.
Chair recognizes Ms. Greene.
For the past 4 years, Democrats have been in control of basically all government functions for the American people. We are at $36 trillion in debt, and the lies are getting to be outrageous. Just listen to one of my colleagues talk about Medicaid. The truth is, for people watching at home, your Medicaid benefits cannot get cut unless the governor of your state and the state cuts your benefits. That's the real truth. Republicans here in Washington, here in Congress, we are not taking away anyone's Medicaid benefits. As a matter of fact, we're trying to cut out improper payments. We're trying to cut out fraud. At my DOJ subcommittee, I had a hearing just 2 weeks ago where we talked about improper payments. It is unbelievable, and I'm sure you would agree, Mr. Dodaro, that the amount of money that's being paid to dead people, to foreigners, to criminals, to terrorists is amounting in the billions and billions of dollars every single year. That's what Democrats and Republicans should be agreeing on. We should be able to come together and say, let's stop this immediately. Another thing that I find outrageous is that Democrats under the Biden administration passed $7.5 billion in spending to build 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations all over the country, whether Americans wanted them or not. But only 8 of these electric vehicle charging stations even got built. I think that should have been in your top 25 list, because where's that money? Honestly, where is that money? That's a great question. Some other things that I'd like to bring up to you here is GOA estimates that total fraud in these programs for unemployment insurance, and you were just talking about it, during the pandemic is at least $60 billion. Americans all over the country will never forget that Democrats shut our country down, shut our businesses down. People got fired. Their churches was closed. All their rights were taken away. And $60 billion from the Department of Labor. The Department of Labor has still not developed an anti-fraud strategy, even though $60 billion is missing. Also, the Medicare program and scale of Medicare spending is innately high risk, with the program spending an estimated $1 trillion in 2024. Of that, in fiscal year 2024, we saw roughly, I'll go back to improper payments again, $54.3 billion in improper payments. And we have Democrats crying over Elon Musk. Are you kidding me? The American people, the polling is out, 72% Democrats and Republicans support Doge. Support it, 72%. They are not upset about anything that Elon Musk is doing. As a matter of fact, they're happy. They want their 50, they want all these improper payments, all of this waste, they want it back. Now, here's what's really interesting to me. The Department of Defense Financial Management first appeared on the high-risk list in 1995. 1995. Hey, I graduated from high school in 1992. That's a long time ago. Now, and it remains on this list 28 years later. 28 years later, Congress hasn't fixed this. The Department of Defense hasn't fixed this. And last year, the Pentagon, with a budget of around $850 billion, failed its 7th straight audit. What are we doing? What are we doing? This is not, we should be at the most bipartisan time in history, where Republicans and Democrats can come together and say the American people's money is being stolen, it is being lost, it is outright treason to treat the American people this way.
Might not be walked out with their hands behind their back.